Hello and welcome to Albania, here in the Balkans of Europe. If you're unfamiliar with Albania, it is located just north of Greece and is said to have some of the best mountains and beaches in all of the Balkans. Albania is one of the few majority Muslim nations here in Europe. It's also one of the poorest countries in all of Europe. So the US dollar and the euro can get you pretty far here. So I'll be spending my first few days here in the city of Shkodër, often referred to as the capital of northern Albania. And then I'll be heading up north to the Albanian Alps, to the town of Thethi. I'll spend probably 4 or 5 days there. Then in about a week's time, I'll head down to the south, to the Albanian Riviera, see some of the beautiful beaches Albania has to offer. So this monument is dedicated to the people of Shkodër that unfortunately had to live through some very trying times here in Albania under the communist rule of Enver Hoxha. If you don't know who Enver Hoxha was, he was the notorious communist leader here in Albania. He actually banned all religion. So he named Albania the very first atheist country in the world. And anyone that was caught practicing religion could spend up to 10 years in prison. Pretty crazy stuff. Here's a look at my hostel here in Shkodër. Cost me about $7 a night. I appear to be the only one here, which is great. So I currently have about an hour walk to reach the famous castle of Shkodër. It's called the Rozafa Castle, built 4,000 years ago. Welcome to the Rozafa Castle, here in Shkodër, Albania. 4,000 years ago, these stones were placed here. Absolutely blows my mind. Oh, I think if this castle were located in one of the more touristy countries in this area, like Italy or Croatia, it would be absolutely flooded with tourists. Spider webs everywhere. But this has more of an abandoned feeling to it. Hard to believe it was constructed by the same empire you'll find in Italy and Croatia. Only this costs about $2, and there's absolutely nobody here. And you have a view of the Alps in the background. Welcome to Albania. It's a 4,000-year-old well. Let's see. Scary. This hike has been absolutely beautiful. I didn't realize it was going to take me all day, but it is now almost 6:30 p.m. I have a long ways to get back to town. So The horse just chilling on the sidewalk. So it's the next day here in Shkodër, and I'm actually heading back to do the same hike I did yesterday. In order to get to the hike, you do have to cross a pretty sketchy bridge. It is called Bruna's Bridge. You have to be very careful. If you come to Shkodër and you're interested in doing this hike, it is called Mount Teraboshi. It's actually recommended to me by my buddy Brian, who works at the hostel I'm staying at called Kultura Hostel. Yes, he is Albanian. His name is Brian. I actually have to give Brian a shout out because as soon as I arrived here in Albania, he sat me down and we kind of mapped out my entire 2 weeks here in Albania. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. Albania isn't like other touristic countries where you can just hop on Google and figure out your plans that way. You really have to talk to the locals because it's kind of hard to get around. But I'm heading back to this hike tonight because not only was it extremely beautiful, and that's how I want to end my time here in Shkodër, but I also mapped out some different drone shots I really want to get. So I'm very excited to get up there. Alright, now we gotta move down to the lake. So I've just arrived here in the high Albanian Alps to a very small village called Death. These already look like some of the most picturesque landscapes I've ever seen. Absolutely stunning. So far after 4 days, Albania has definitely blown me away. Here's a look at where I'll be staying for the next few days. Beautiful guest house way out here in the mountains. If you're wondering how much that costs, it is $10 US a night. There's a view out the back window. It's super authentic Albanian here. They're actually starting a fire to get some hot water going for me for a shower. Another night, another room to myself. So today I'm going to be checking out some old churches and ruins, and then I plan to do the hike through the Gruna Canyon to the Gruna waterfall, and then eventually to Theth waterfall as well. So it should be a beautiful day. Albania. What a gem. I'd like to take this incredibly beautiful moment of my life and give a shout out to my very good friends Rachel and Jared. They're about to have their first child, so congratulations. I miss both of you a lot, and hopefully this video makes it feel like you're out here with me. So shout out to you guys. Shout out Evan Jr. Sivaku. So I've stumbled upon one of the many bunkers you'll find here throughout Albania. It's actually on the hillside just right by my guest house. There's said to be over 173,000 of these things throughout the country, constructed under the order of the infamous communist leader Enver Hoxha. And they were constructed during the Cold War to help fight against Stalinist USSR. Cool stuff. It's crazy that the threat of a Russian invasion still exists today, as we're seeing in the Ukraine. Okay, so today I'm leaving the mountains and I'm going to be heading to the nation's capital, Tirana, spend the night there, and then I'll be heading down to the south of Albania, to the beach town of Imare. So apparently a bus is going to come pick me up here in Theth, which will then take me to Shkodër, and then in Shkodër I need to find a bus to Tirana, which looks like you just stand on the side of the road and they come pick you up. So I've just arrived here in Tirana, the capital of Albania. I'm just spending one night here, so won't be seeing too much while I'm here, and then tomorrow I'm heading down to the Riviera. Now I just need to walk around and find a bus to Himara. Himara? Ah, okay. Yes. I've just arrived here in southern Albania to the town of Himara. Absolutely beautiful here on the Ionian Sea. Gonna be spend the next 3 or so nights here, and then from there gonna figure out a plan for the next country. Here's a look at our hostel here in Himara. Quite the view. Place cost me about $10 a night. Has an incredible breakfast included. Highly recommend it. It's called the Himara Relax Hostel.
So many stuff.
Yeah. Like bread.
The Bible was also.
Me and my buddy Boris from Frankfurt are heading to a beach called Filikuri Beach. The water is so blue. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but you can see the Greek islands way off in the distance. Holy Shiza. At some point, there's no doubt the word is going to get out about Albania. As you can see after watching this video, it is extremely beautiful. The beaches, the mountains, cities. It literally has everything. And accommodations, food, really cheap. So watch out for Albania. This place is an absolute gem. It's been an amazing couple weeks here in Albania. I'm glad I decided to come here last minute, and I think this is one of those places I will definitely be back and hopefully convince some friends to come here. It's also my buddy Drew's birthday today, so shout out Drew, I miss you, and I'm gonna get you out here to Albania at some point. So thank you all for watching this week's video in beautiful Albania, and I will see you next week in either Greece or Kosovo. I will decide later today, and we'll keep it a surprise. So thanks for watching.